Kofi Annan, the Secretary General of the United Nations, Kofi Annan, this morning. The Secretary General condemned the terrorist attacks of September 11th unequivocally and expressed his condolences to the American people. The President and the Secretary General agreed that the attacks were against all freedom-loving people and that all nations should join in the fight against terrorism. The Secretary General also expressed appreciation to the President for his message of tolerance, which the President conveyed yesterday at Washington's Islamic Cultural Center. The President also spoke with President Cardoso of Brazil this morning. President Cardoso expressed his condolences and solidarity and said that this has been an attack against Western civilization, against all of humanity. The President thanked President Cardoso for his statements on behalf of the American people, and he said that we are facing a different kind of war that will require patience and cooperation. And finally, the President spoke again today with Prime Minister Chrétien of Canada. The President expressed heartfelt appreciation for Canada's solidarity with the United States and for everything that Canada has done to assist. Let me just recap the President's day and fill you in a little bit about what he's going to do this afternoon. In addition to the phone calls to world leaders, the President convened a meeting of his National Security Council to continue the planning. The President met earlier today, as you know, with a group of charitable organizations that are doing everything they can to make it easier for the American people's outpouring of generosity to be easily met. And they have set up a special website, libertyunites.org, and they've set up a special website, libertyunites.org, and the President urges all Americans who want to help to give to the charity of their choice or to log on. It will contain information on where they can go to volunteer, to help, as well as to give financially if any individual Americans seek to do so. On the personnel front, the President has a meeting today with his personnel team. These are part of the regular routine meetings of the White House. The President will have another one today as he continues to focus on the personnel appointments to the government. He will have a meeting later this afternoon with his economic team to discuss other types of action that may or may not be required to help the economy. And then this evening he will meet with and have dinner with President Chirac of France. One update on schedule. General Ashcroft, Attorney General Ashcroft, will brief at 2:30. The head of FEMA will brief at 3 o'clock, and Treasury Secretary O'Neill will brief at 4 o'clock as we continue to fill the American people in on all events that are going on. I'm sorry? That will be a closed meeting. No. Let me give you an update, too, on some of the activities around the administration, and I'll be happy to take questions. Secretary Page will be holding an interactive satellite town meeting from the museum to discuss talking with children about last week's disasters, as well as parental involvement in their children's education. At the Environmental Protection Agency, Administrator Whitman announced today that results from the agency's air and drinking water monitoring near the World Trade Center and the Pentagon disaster sites indicate that vital resources are safe. The Administrator also announced that EPA has been given up to $83 million from FEMA to support EPA's involvement in the cleanup activities and ongoing monitoring of environmental conditions in New York City and in the Washington, D.C. areas. At the Small Business Administration, the Administrator is in New York City today to talk about SBA's plans to assist those in need through its disaster loan program. The SBA offers low-interest, long-term financial assistance to help victims with their disaster-related losses. Two more agencies, and then I'll be pleased for questions. At Treasury, the IRS has released new information to help the public use charitable organizations and announced it will speed processing of requests for tax-exempt status from the new charities formed to assist the victims of the attacks. And the IRS is also compiling a publication called Disaster Relief, Providing Assistance Through Charitable Organizations, which will explain how to make contributions through existing charitable organizations and how new organizations can apply for tax-exempt status. And finally, as you know, the Secretary of Transportation met with airline executives to discuss the safety, the security, and the stabilization of the American airline industry. And with that, I'm happy to take your questions.
Is the administration moving toward the $24 billion figure that the airline industry is talking about? And another point, are you confident that the current financial woes of the airline industry are wholly owing to last week's attacks? They've been having a bad year up until now. I'm just wondering if there's any concern by the administration that you may be picking up the tab for what had been a bad year up until last Tuesday.
The Secretary of Transportation, as well as senior White House officials, met with executives of the airline industry today. And this was after their meeting with the president, after the staff and the secretary met with the president yesterday. His charge to them was to come up with the specifics of a plan to help the airlines deal with the consequences of the attack on the United States and its implications for the airlines. That was the president's charge, and the plan that Secretary Mineta alluded to earlier that he is working on and will consult with the Congress on deals with helping the airlines so they can be secure, so they can be safe, and that they can be stable in the wake of this attack.
All right, but Ari, on the two questions about the $24 billion, and also are you confident that you're not picking up the tab for the first 9 months of this year as well as what's happening?
Well, I thought I addressed that second question when I say that the president's charge was to do so in the wake of the attack. On the first question, it's premature to know what the exact dollar amount will be. Clearly, the airlines have a dollar amount in mind, and that'll be something that the government, the administration, working with the Congress, considers.
All right, on the economy, the President and Congress are now discussing, we understand, 7 or 8 different options, some of which I gather include another tax cut to stimulate the economy. And I know the President is interested in having the administration consult with Congress, and it's sort of in that phase. But where is his head at this time about what would best stimulate the economy now? He certainly knows about this. He's thought about it. He's thought about his first tax cut. So where's his head now? Capital gains? Is that a good idea?
No, the president is actually. I've heard him say these are no ordinary times, and he said this is an economy that's going to get a dose of both supply side and Keynesian economics, meaning the advantages of tax cuts that stimulate the economy. And of course, Congress just approved $40 billion in spending as an immediate, which has an immediate impact as the money is spent. That's not $40 billion over a long period of time. That's $40 billion over a relatively short time, also which is to address some of the human suffering that has taken place. So the president recognizes that this is not an era of normal economics, normal responses, and he's going to continue to be very open-minded as he works with the Congress and with Democrats and Republicans about what comes next. But it's premature to know exactly what comes next. Yesterday's meeting that the president led about the economy and the airlines was the first of many meetings he's going to hold. I just indicated there's another one this afternoon. And so this is the beginning of a process where the president is going to consider what exact actions.
But is he more than open-minded? Is he actually committed to further tax relief? Does he believe that's what the economy needs right now?
Premature. It's premature to say. He'll have another meeting this afternoon, and he'll listen to various thoughts from various advisors, but he has not come to any determinations yet.
All right, what is first on the agenda tonight with Chirac?
I haven't seen the agenda specifically for the meeting, but I anticipate it's going to be about, obviously, the reaction to the terrorist attack on the United States, ways of cooperating to combat terrorism. I don't rule out other important bilateral issues will be discussed anytime two heads of state are together. That can happen. So that's a summary of the agenda.
Specifically, what does the president want from Chirac?
Well, again, that gets back into the same list of specificity that I'm not going to go into if you're asking in the context of the attack. But it's going to be ways to combat terrorism and ways the Western world can unite. Randy?
Britain has said that it too wants to aid its airline industry, which is suffering, and said other countries may want to.
And you're listening to a live briefing at the White House conducted by spokesperson Ari Fleischer. A couple of headlines saying President Bush has not made a determination yet whether to pursue additional tax cuts as a way to keep the country out of economic trouble. Also, not clear the size of the amount of the package that the administration will support to help the nation's airlines, but it's clear that the nation will back some sort of a multi-billion-dollar package. Many more briefings planned by administration officials this afternoon. We'll be monitoring them, and we will bring you information as events warrant. And we'll have a special Fox 5 News at 4:30 this afternoon, and of course, Fox 5 News at 10. I'm Mark McCarthy. We return now to regular programming.
It's mine!
Ooh, look at this, Woodpecker. Would your little wooden heads have more fun with this than a silly old doll? I'll trade you.
Pogo sticks don't have laser eye beams. Hey,
Little Billy's gonna be as happy as a podgy Swedish banker on deposit day.
Oh, Wally, wouldn't your nephew rather have a neat basketball?
It doesn't have boomerang fists.
Whoa! Say, bub. Are you the kind of walrus that has everything? Do you want to have something no one else does? Then why not be the first on your block to own your very own country? Think of the joy of owning your own sovereign landmass. There are several nice ones to pick from. How about Portugal, France, Morocco, or Sweden?
Ooh, yumpin' Yemeni. I want to buy Sweden, and I want to buy it now.
As a value shopper, it's all yours. Yes! Zach Zobar is mine!
The yig is up, Mr. Smarty Feathers. I need that toy. Hoity boity, I got the toy.
Nap time's over. One toy coming up.
I'd like to buy this and use my valued Yopper card so I can get my bonus points. I'm saving them up for a fjord skimmer.
Don't worry, sir. I'll bag it for you right now.
You cheater! That's mine!
Oh.
Look, Willie, I got you the invisible torso Zobar Zakil. Yeah.
Look, kids, it's the battle-damaged Zach Zobar with special fall-off arms and short-circuit eye beams.
No, it isn't. You guys broke it. Besides, the new cool toy is the Germatron Super Multi-Mega Action Racer with lightning lasers.
Oh, can I have fun, Uncle? Can I?
Yeah, can we have one, Uncle Woody? Can we?
I'm afraid we only have one in stock. Oh my, and we're closing in 2 minutes.
Go, Uncle Woody!
I'll be right back on Fox Kids.
The Power Rangers are nowhere to be found. At last, all of time is mine. Wait, I hear them.
Battle ready.
There they are.
Morphin time. Roto Saber attack.
They're too big to defeat.
Time for Time Force.
They're just too powerful.
Time to battle.
Yeah!
Cancel mission!
New 12-inch talking Ultra Power Rangers, each sold separately from Bandai.
Remember, be very quiet in the museum.
I'll take this group.
More smiling face. It's just the thing. That makes everybody put a smile on. Put a smile on. Everybody come on. Put a smile on.
Behind your closet door is a world of monsters you've never seen.
Roz, you're looking fabulous today. Is that a new haircut? You've had a lift. You've had a touch.
A danger you'd never believe.
There's a kid here! A human kid!
And two heroes you'd never expect.
I have a plan. I lied.
From the creators of Toy Story, Billy Crystal, John Goodman.
Blame it on the little guy with his one eye!
Monsters Incorporated. Rated G. In theaters November 2nd.
Don't take it personal.
You were thinking that. You were thinking that.
Oh my, a storm! Uh-oh. Something extraordinary smells delicious. So I've got to follow my nose. Wherever it goes. To the flavors of fruit. Wherever they grow. Stripes? How shocking.
You won't believe your eyes. New Lemonberry Stripes in Kellogg's Fruit Loop cereal is a blend of colors never seen before. They're the stunning part of this complete breakfast.
I'm getting quite a charge out of these lemonberry stripes. Yoo-hoo!
Don't miss Transformers, Robots in Disguise, all new, coming up in a few minutes, only on Fox Kids.
Now back to Fox Kids.
Destined battle attire.
Ready?
Goggles.
I'm there! Save some for me.
Gloves.
Let's get him. I'm with you.
Digivice.
Hey, don't overlook me.
Rookie level battle attire. Birthday suit.
Huh? Oh my!
Digimon today and 2 all-new episodes this Saturday at 9 Eastern, 8 Central and Pacific on Fox Kids. More Metabots. More power. Catch an all-new episode of Metabots this Saturday morning at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central and Pacific, only on Fox Kids.